So my name is DJ Enki, represent the Oakland Faders crew. The first hip-hop song I heard was Sucker MC's Run DMC, and it just completely blew me away. I mean, like, it just changed my whole frame of reference of what music was and what music could be, because it was just completely different from anything else I had heard as music. You know, it's just drums and rapping, and it's like, that's just the baddest thing I'd ever heard. And I just wanted to be somehow involved with that. It just hit me so hard. I was like, I have to be a part of that somehow. And I mean, I was 10 years old at the time, so there wasn't much I was going to do then. But I just immersed myself in it, you know? I mean, it was just all about seeking out hip-hop wherever I could find it. I mean, it was on the radio, if I could find people rapping, you know, just around me or whatever. And it just sort of developed from there. And the more I got into it, the more I was really into the DJs. I mean, obviously Run DMC was the first group that I heard, and then it was like, Run DMC is the baddest group doing the baddest music in the world, and Jam Master Jay is the baddest member of that group. So it was like, you know, he's really the man. And, you know, I mean, just going from there, I mean, then it was like Premier and Gangstar, you know, it was how Public Enemy was always shouting out Terminator X. It was all of that stuff. And it was like, DJing is really like, I really gravitated toward that, especially since the DJ was the one who really controlled the music, you know. I got to open up for Large Professor not too long ago, and he was not rapping, he was DJing. It was strictly a DJ thing where we were all playing 45s, and that was it. So Large Professor is a huge hero of mine. I mean, I really just have the utmost respect for that guy, and I think he's one of the greatest to ever do it. Watching him get busy was crazy because, I mean, he's not like a technical DJ or anything like that. You know, it's not like he's up there doing crazy tricks and patterns and stuff. But number one, his knowledge of music and his record collection is insane. I mean, he's pulling out stuff that's just like, what? Like, how do you even have that? Just crazy stuff. And number two, you could tell that he just loves what he's doing and that he just has so much love for the music. And that was just super inspirational to see that. I mean, especially since he's been around for a long time, you know? I mean, he first started in like the late 80s, early 90s, and he's still active. And all these years later, he still has that same passion for it, and that was really something cool to see. Sticking to my guns, I would say. I mean, I've never used music to pay my bills. Like, I've always had like a day job or something like that. And there were definitely times when I felt like, I don't know, maybe I could do this full time, but that's kind of a dicey proposition because, I mean, I know a lot of people who do it, and it always seems like there's compromise involved, and that just sort of comes with the territory. And so I feel like staying in a position where I don't have to do that, where if, you know, something comes along, I don't have to be like, I don't really want to do this, but I really need the money because my rent is due, and so now I got to do it. And I can just stick with doing things that I legitimately want to do. I mean, especially nowadays, we're in the Serato era where everybody's doing it. And there's all these extra pieces of technology coming out and that seem to just pull you further and further away from what DJing used to be. I mean, it takes you further away from two turntables and your record collection because you download all of your music and your interface keeps changing to the point where it's basically just computer interfaces and hitting buttons and stuff like that. And like the DJing keeps getting taken out of it. And I really like how the 45 sessions just strips all of that away, where it's like, if we take away all your little toys and stuff, like, can you still do this? Like, number one, do you have the record collection? Because if you don't have the records, then you can't even go in the first place. And number two, like, can you really spin them? Because spinning 45s is harder than spinning regular records. I mean, they jump a lot more. You can't really, like, backspin them as easy, you know? I mean, it's definitely, like, a notch or two above, just as far as, like, how skillful you have to be with it. As somebody who was really dedicated to the idea of not following trends, of really just presenting yourself through music and really trying to engage people in that way. Keep vinyl culture alive, obviously. Appreciate your local DJ. Appreciate DJs who take chances. Appreciate DJs who aren't jukeboxes.